Hello, everyone. We are live from the apocalypse, where we play tabletop role-playing games to benefit nonprofits, aid organizations, and other charitable causes. We just ask that if you like what you see here, that rather than subscribing or giving us bits or corporate script or any of the normal Twitch stuff, that you take that money and donate it directly to the organizations that we are fundraising for. This stream is going to be raising money for, gotta flip the script here a bit, the International Rescue Committee. As, again, if you have not tuned in for a minute, we actually smashed through both of our fundraising goals for Planned Parenthood and for the Surfrider Foundation, which is great. Awesome.
We like smashing those goals.
We like crushing them beneath our heel. I say we are like, but legitimately, I say that, but it is honestly, it's because of you guys who do the actual donating while we do this, and that's really awesome. Like, because that is actually kind of what makes all of this worthwhile and possible. But who we are raising funds for now is the International Rescue Committee, which helps people affected by humanitarian crises. Founded at the call of Albert Einstein in 1933, the IRC is now at work in over 40 crisis-affected areas, as well as communities across Europe and the Americas. So, if at any point you would like to donate, you can type !donate in the chat. Our bot will post the link, and you can make the McElroy brothers yell at us and interrupt whatever scene we're having at the moment. Probably something very personal and touching. We also have channel points you can use to unlock our emotes without subscribing, as well as to interact with and influence the stream in other ways. Which, like, I think how much? Okay, we got 3 luck. Just noting that number for no particular reason. I think that's all of the housekeeping. So without further ado, let's get into it. Gonna just do some introductions for everyone here. We're just gonna kind of go left to right across the bottom of the screen here. Will, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I would love to. Hello, my name is Will. I am one of the GMs and the organizers of Live from the Apocalypse, and anything that I do, you can mostly find under that Live from the Apocalypse umbrella. So I run Class Reunion, our 5e game about high school students who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years and are now barbarians and rangers and cool stuff like that, who have recently been reconnected. Are currently trapped in a city of the undead. That is the alternating game with this one. I play Julian Rue tonight in Missing Numbers, the former Team Rocket grunt turned Pokemon chef, whomst you can see in the little corner of my window. And I'm in a bunch of other stuff also, and I run and edit our Masks Actual Play podcast, Academy H, which you can find on your podcast platform of choice. It is very good. If you would like to listen to it, we would appreciate it. You can also catch Brendan in that. So that's me. Just follow Live from the Apocalypse. That's pretty much everything I do.
It's not everything you do. You guest star places sometimes. Like
that is true. Sometimes
I do the collaboration-y things. Yeah.
But if I do that, I always post about it on Live from the Apocalypse. So
he also like spins wonderful theories about Digimon, right? On TikTok.
Yeah. For
are there any like previews for this week you want to give us about Digimon?
No. My hyperfixation has abandoned me.
Oh really? Oh no.
Yeah. No, I haven't made a Digimon video in a couple of weeks.
But at the same time, I you know, even in the short time that I've known you, I have a strong feeling that Digimon content will make a triumphant return, inevitably.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Nothing can stop it.
Nothing can stop it.
Maybe even on this channel. Who knows?
Anyway, okay, wait. Can we have both Pokemon and Digimon on the same channel? Like, is that allowed?
Yeah, it's the 2020s. We're allowed.
Is it?
The turf war is over.
Is it?
how else are we going to have a very special episode in which the cast of both like smash together and have to go on an adventure?
I just don't know. Is it worth the risk? I feel like it's like introducing matter and antimatter. We don't know what could happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, how else are we going to establish Digimon supremacy?
Yeah, the turf war's not done. You were those.
The turf war is not over. It's just moving to
Never.
Live from the Apocalypse.
I see. I
Fair.
see. Well, on that note, Heather, do you want to please pull us out of this tailspin?
Hi everyone, I am Heather. You might also know me as Bright. I mostly right now you probably either know me from Live from the Apocalypse or from my TikToks in which I rant about TTRPGs and Star Wars and I don't know. There's probably going to be some content on cosplay and costuming coming soon if you're interested in that because 'tis Ren Fair season and my own hypersfixation has shifted a little. I haven't had a couple. I've like it's been about 2 weeks since I've posted anything. I apologize to anyone who actually watches, but unfortunately, I had some professional things with the real life work situations I had to handle. So yeah, if you know me from TikTok, yeah, hopefully you're also following us on TikTok because I do our videos for TikTok as well. You should absolutely follow everything, and hopefully we're gonna actually be getting some summary videos up soon. So that's me. Eh.
I'm Marshall. I design games when my own hyperfixation cooperates. I also designed a Pokemon game. It is not this one, but if you're curious about it, we'll be streaming it tomorrow for our second night of Pokemon shenanigans, where me and Will play in that game with some other players, and that one is using a different system and is set in an entirely different region. And it's a very fun, chaotic, short session game. So we have 2 more sessions left in a 3-game series. And if you're looking for anything I do, I am Iron Echo Games on itch and on Twitter.
Nice.
And that's me.
Can't wait till my moose Pokemon evolves and is just dual wielding chain guns.
That's Digimon.
Yeah.
That is when we cross the streams.
That's a little too American for the Maple League. I'm sorry. No chain guns. No.
Listen, I don't know much about Mounties. The only thing I know about Mounties is the oft-repeated fact from my high school years that they are the only federal law enforcement agency in the world authorized to use fully automatic weapons.
I mean, I would actually trust Mounties with that. I wouldn't trust ours, but I would, like, I feel like the undercurrent of politeness and things going on in Canada might serve them well for at least a decade.
We are so far off track, and we've only just begun. But
Sorry.
yes, please do. Definitely check out Maple League tomorrow. It is, like I said, very short and fun. Like Marshall said, in marked contrast to Missing Numbers, which is both lengthy and arduous.
I wouldn't say arduous. It's
so
severe.
Listen, if we haven't put our audience through an ordeal of like does anyone but me remember the episode where we made you give tech support?
Oh, I think about it often.
I mean, okay, I sincerely doubt that anything that I do this session is going to make things nearly as devastating as Academy Age was on Sunday. But I'll do what I can.
You're welcome.
Give it the old college try.
So let's do just a quick recap because we've been kind of in and out for a minute. So it's a quick recap of where we were last time. You guys had gotten together with Professor Maple, no relation to the Maple League, who had successfully managed to jury rig the console, the Healy table you guys had procured from the Silphco campus and the computer tower that you guys had recovered from Absol Island to be able to essentially modify one of the Silphco champion balls to be able to capture one of the missing numbers. And ostensibly in Professor Maple's theory, if that's correct, essentially fix them to make them Pokemon and not horrifying eldritch beings from beyond the Veil of Sanity. Um, there was also discussion with Julian had with um, um, this is my own darned NPC, Charlie Geller. Oh my gosh, I'm good at this. I'm good at games.
I mean,
You
his
are.
bit is that he's forgotten.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
How dare you forget the name of my best friend that I forgot?
Right. Yes.
We literally, it's a defining characteristic. Everyone has forgotten him. It makes sense that you did too.
Who indicated that these missing numbers had been eating / deleting many more people than had previously been realized, and that those people were somewhere else. There was discussion about a plan to try and get those people back from somewhere else, but that as of yet has not yet gained much traction. Most effort has been focused on capturing the missing numbers, which the team of Billy and Julian did so successfully. So that was a big first. Meanwhile, Estelle had the displeasure of being attacked by Pokemon that, if Charlie is to be believed, were sent by Silphco. That your recent shenanigans and chicaneries with Silphco had possibly put you on their radar in a way that you might not like, as Silphco, in Charlie's words, has been deploying weaponized Pokemon to try and combat the threat posed by the missing numbers.
Don't touch me. Oh, sorry, I'm watching the chat.
All good. And so after having done all of that, you guys had gone back to the Pokemon Center. There was some discussion with Professor Maple, who wanted to release the newly captured missing number from its champion ball. You
I
guys
was
were
on
less.
board with that.
I feel like Julian and Billy were less on board with it.
The ones who actually fought it.
There was a general agreement to table that motion for the moment, and then there was also discussion of trying to go and obtain more champion balls that Professor Maple could then modify to capture more of the missing numbers. And that is more or less where we left off after a very long night, sleeping in, even in through the afternoon. It's one of those very groggy early afternoons that everyone is roused at the Esper Bay gym and reconvenes downstairs.
So we're not letting it out of its Pokeball.
No one said anything. We're all just staring at our coffee at the table, and that's the first thing you open with. Well, how else are we going to? We did all this to save the Pokemon. If we can't actually save them and heal them, then, I mean, don't we need to do so?
Did we do this to save the Pokemon? Because I did this to stop the Pokemon from destroying us.
Well, it's the same thing, dear.
See, but is it?
Ultimately,
Because-
how long do you think that the genie can stay in the bottle? They can't go for an eternity sitting in those Pokeballs. One day the Pokeballs themselves will, age, disintegrate, malfunction, and then
Also,
the whole place is right back where they were without all of the knowledge you and I have gathered.
Do we know that they can't stay in there indefinitely? Has there been research?
I mean, isn't that kind of what started this whole thing? I mean, like, I don't want to fight it again either, but isn't the whole thing that this thing, these Pokeballs, when they weren't working, turn these Pokemon into these things? So if we got the formula wrong, isn't there a possibility that this could just make it worse?
I don't know. I don't know anything. Like, look, that a table bled on me, and
Mhm.
I saw horrible visions, and I met somebody who claimed they were my best friend that I did not remember. I am far out of my depth here. It just feels like a bad idea to let it out.
Well, logically, Julian, everything we have, plastic, all those things, eventually the electronics will break down, the mechanisms will become faulty. That's just time. It's what life does to things. I mean, I'm living proof. What we have to decide is whether or not it's better to face something knowing what it is, or to leave this for to be a problem for someone who won't even know it's coming.
And I guess that's my point, because we still don't really know what it is. Or at least I don't. If anybody does, feel free to enlighten me.
Well, from what Professor Maple's been able to theorize based on all the information we've gathered, they're Pokemon that have been damaged and are missing a part of themselves in the translation
Right.
from being compressed. And because the original data of Pokemon may not come from this world, we can't really know what they were before,
I was going
but
to
we
say
know what they are.
that is a lot of dense plot technobabble that I am genuinely impressed you remembered.
I pay attention. I just pretend to not always know what's going on because, then Julian goes along with my crazy plans.
I just like I don't know stuff comes out of my mouth as a GM and I'm just like, what, Brendan? What are you talking about? This doesn't. None of this is parsable by any other human being on Earth that isn't you.
Look,
um
if we have to do things this way, then that's fine, whatever. But I'm just lodging my complaint now that it seems like a bad idea.
well, obviously we should take some precautions before we do anything. And
Like, not in the gym, because we did just like fix it. So maybe
oh,
outside.
yes, absolutely. And we should make sure it's not in a populated area. If these things are just disappearing people all over the place, we don't want anyone to wander through. Um, there's also, you know, whether or not, well, Professor, what's your thoughts? Do you think there's anything further we can do to as safety measures?
Uh, Truthfully, I I don't think so. The fact of the matter is that if this hasn't worked, then there's been nothing yet that's been able to contain these things in their corrupted state. Um, there are precautions, like you said, taking it out of a populated area, but
Surrounding it by old technology, isn't that what they've been doing out on the island? They found some success with that. That might contain it for a time
I
while we get it.
suppose I frankly I don't have any notion what that cracked up clan gets up to out there. Um,
Oh,
I
they're all right, I suppose.
I'm
Now
if
that
they
that old
figured
Harridan's dead.
they figured out. Oh wait, so I don't. You know, there. That's where you were when when I was okay. Nobody there could figure out. Nobody there could figure out how to get the computer tower out, but they figured out a way to contain the missing numbers. I don't.
Well,
I'm very.
they've been using
It's
old
cruel to.
technology.
It's cruel to play tricks on an old man, Estelle.
Well, I'd say it's more trial and error than, figuring anything out. I think
Maybe
they
the
know.
answer is beyond technology. Maybe it's a combination of that with something else.
They have been putting them up on warding gates, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Like old? What? Like Tory gates?
Yes. I thought it was just sort of an aesthetic choice when we first got to the island, but then they explained that they actually noticed the older technology would sort of deter them from taking people. And given that
Well,
everybody else was still there, I don't think that they were far off from something.
well. Despite what some people might say about me, I am a scientist and not in fact some kind of techno shaman. Uh,
Correlation is not causation. I know.
so unfortunately, I could not begin to hypothesize
Techno
what
shaman.
what any of that is about,
Hmm.
because that doesn't make any sense. And I'm the one who says the Pokemon are aliens.
You do say that, technically, yes. Well, here's some thoughts. We can try the old technology. We could contact my sister and see if the clan's willing to come out and try to help us contain this thing when it goes. But that puts more people in danger. And, you know, we do the other things we talked about.
My suggestion is this: if we take it out somewhere isolated and release it, one of two things will be true. Either we were successful, and there is a Pokemon in there that poses no more inherent threat to us than any other, or we have failed, and we will be releasing one of these missing numbers. But if we have failed, then it's back to the drawing board anyway. We can't proceed unless we know that we succeeded. And if we failed, if that missing number is just still in there, waiting, they've escaped before. It's not going to hold it forever.
Remind me, if we release it from its Pokeball, can that same Pokeball be used to recapture it, or do we need a different, like, one of the special balls to recapture the missing
Uh,
number?
I would say you could use the same one.
Okay, because the other thing is, okay, do we need to get more Pokeballs in case this thing will not be contained if it is still a missing number? So, Julian, what would make you comfortable other than just pretending it's not a problem? Because I'm afraid we can't do that part.
Then nothing.
All right. Billy, what
Julian
about
really wanted to pretend it wasn't a problem.
just really want to go back to being a chef? Could we do that?
Yeah.
Billy, what about you?
I mean, I just don't want it to hurt anyone. If we have to fight it again, we'll do it again. The Pokemon have been healed up, but we should definitely get away from the people.
All right. Well, what do you think of going out to maybe the farm?
Yeah, I suppose. There's plenty of pasture.
And I wouldn't mind your mother as backup. She's quite a woman.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good plan.
All right. Well, I, for one, could use a moment to breathe, but I don't know that Silphco is going to give us that. So, it's really up to you two. When would you like to go?
Feel like we should get it over with.
Yeah, now as good a time
Just
as
deal
any,
with it now.
especially if that might be making it worse.
All right. Is there anything we need to do before we leave the gym? Like, are there any like gym responsibilities we have to see to? Now, whatever, baby.
No,
That's right, chat.
not unless a challenger were to suddenly show up.
I'd like to visit the save point before we leave.
I too
Just
would
in
like to
case.
visit. Yeah, I would like to level up and visit the save point. Can we, real quick? Is there any let's go hit the store, make sure we bought all the necessary goods for our boss battle.
So let me plug in this game shark real quick and type in a few things. Give me a
It's
second.
fine. Yeah, I just need to look up
Max level.
infinite lives.
Yeah, it's always Sunny title card pops up and it's just the gang saves the game.
But there's no imminent gym business that needs to be taken care of.
Cool. Then yeah, I think Estelle's just gonna leave a just in case note to her sister. And I don't know if you want me to roll for this, but I'm gonna just call some shenanigans and say that we have ways to leave secret notes for each other in the psychic stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good
Yeah.
to you.
If it needs, if we're in a situation where it's maybe dicey, I'll make a roll for it. But
Cool.
just like, well, what is the content of your secret psychic note?
The content of the secret psychic note is basically we found a way to fix the balls that are producing the missing numbers. We're trying to fix it. If we don't come back, keep going. Save the island.
Yeah, no, man, I feel like that is fine. You leave a secret psychic note.
It's one of those notice me not things where it's like there's a suggestion for nobody to notice it except my sister. So everybody else will just be like, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail, junk mail. Yeah.
Alrighty. So in that case, you guys are heading out to the Baker farm.
Yeah. Should we call your mother beforehand? I feel like if we're going to do something dangerous on her farm, we should probably give her more than a half an hour notice.
I mean, it's not going to take us that long to get there, I don't think. I don't know if it's that much more warning than just showing up.
Well, no, but it does give her a better shot at saying no.
That's true.
Well, do we want to give her the chance to... Billy, cover your ears. Do we want to give her the chance to say no? Because if she says no, then like, what are we doing?
Well, generally, we would have to go somewhere else if we didn't want to be lit on fire. That's been my experience.
Whereas if we show up and we just have to do it because there's not enough time. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
Julian, I know you've had a difficult childhood, but I hope people didn't do those types of things to you.
Look, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and I generally believe that is all right when we're dealing with people who won't light us on fire, but Billy's mom absolutely will. No. For
100%.
instance, I reconnoitered you for your day off all those weeks ago. And look at you now, leading a gym, helping lead a gym, saving the world.
All right, well, I'm not calling her.
She
She's
will
not
take
hearing
a
it from me.
second. I'll give her a call. Billy, you can take your hands off your ears, Billy. It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
So, did we decide?
I'm just going to give your mother a quick call. I'm going to go ahead and call her and just let her know we're coming out and that we might need backup for something dangerous.
Okay. Yep. No, sounds good.
And ask her if there's a particular place we'd like to go, that we're looking for somewhere isolated, and is there anywhere on the farm she'd like us to go?
She'll let you know that there's a spot on the back 40 that should be fine.
Okay. I describe it to Billy, and Billy, I'm sure, will be able to guide us there.
Yep.
Did she sound mad?
Oh no, she won't be mad until, there's a crater. Or until she finds out Billy's with us. She keeps going.
Yeah, she's gonna be mad.
Yep.
Yep.
It'll be fine. Billy's like, yeah.
That you guys pile into Julian's truck and head out towards the Baker farm.
There is
And-
now an even larger goat in the back of the truck.
Yes.
The Pokemon are still all out, even though they've been evolving.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I guess Estelle technically wasn't there for that. Yeah, no. Billy and Julian came back from the fight with the missing number, and
Evolved Pokemon.
yeah, and there was an evolved Pokemon.
Nice.
Aster went from being 2'11" and 68 pounds to being 5'7" and 200 pounds. So a little more crowded in the bed of that truck.
A little bit. Speaking of large Pokemon, it actually you pull up to the Baker farm and you actually see the silhouette of a Machamp and a Blastoise before you see Susan standing between them.
Once again, I just want to be clear that this is not my idea. Somebody's gonna have to take the blame for this, and it's not gonna be me.
Oh,
I
I've
mean, if
got
she
it.
picked those two, she's not going to set you on fire.
No. She'll probably, that's her backup crew. That's there might be something dangerous going on.
So actually, Billy, these are just actually a pair of Pokemon that are big. That your mom keeps around the fountain, because like the Machamp and the Blastoise, they do farm work. They just also happen to double as decent fighting Pokemon. If your mom wants to get real, she keeps those on the belt.
Blastoises are
As long
actually
as-
very good at washing down the sheeple, so it's fine. During the ratting season. Rattle? Brendan, you know farm things. What is it? It's rattle that they cover the sheep in? It's like a clay. And then they wash them off in the spring. And then they shear them.
My family literally owns a sheep farm, and I have no idea.
I was about to say I have literally worked with sheep, and I genuinely have no idea.
They
what
used to
you're
do
talking
this,
about.
and I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe this isn't something they do anymore, and it's just mainstream.
Honestly, it could
out.
just be
Hold on.
like
To the internet.
specific things. I don't know.
I mean, ours don't have wool, so maybe it's like a.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the ones that I worked with
thing.
did have wool, but they weren't. Like, yeah, I didn't really deal with them in that context. So yeah, I don't know.
Are you thinking? Are you thinking of the word wool?
Oh,
What?
but thanks.
That's what
Thanks for.
Well,
off of sheep.
Are you trying to mansplain wool to me? Will?
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say that the Blastoise help to water the fields, but sure, I suppose that it could like power wash some dub wool while it's at it.
What it was they used to do. This is a British thing, but anyways, continue. I don't need to hyperfixate on this. I don't. So
we're gonna like come back in
2
2
weeks,
weeks. We're gonna come
and
back in
I'm gonna
2
know
weeks.
the answer.
We're gonna come back in 2
Y'all,
weeks, and Heather is going to be an expert on all forms of sheep husbandry from the 10th century to the present.
it's true. It'll be a deep dive at like 3 in the morning. All right. Yeah, we're going to the fodder clips again.
In the meantime, the Dubwool are all out in their pastures, and the Blastoise and the Machamp are standing to either side of a somewhat displeased looking Susan.
Oh god, she looks pissed.
Upon seeing her expression, Billy just like sinks down into the bed of the truck, where he's hopefully not seen, even though Aster is still very large and very definitely visible in the back of the truck.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's
her expression actually lightens when she sees Aster. Aster pops out of the truck and goes over to meet her, and she looks tickled to bits that Aster evolved.
that is something.
But then once you guys actually get out of the truck and go over and she sees you coming up, she resumes her stern expression. All right, so what is it you're about to unleash on my farm and my family?
I am not crazy. Cool. Sorry.
Well, you can't keep it to yourself now.
Okay, so rattle powder is it's a bright kind of like clay that they put on sheep to mark them. And I knew this because I was like, they wash off the clay rattle in the spring, and it's part of before they shear them, because otherwise it can like get out and kind of like dye the wool. And I was like, cool, I'm not crazy.
Okay, cool.
So
all right.
I just knew a weird, very random sheep fact. Let's go.
You knew a sheep fact that
I
neither
know a single one that nothing.
You knew a sheep fact that neither of the people who have physically worked with sheep knew about. So
yeah.
It's more of an organic sheep thing that they still do. They do harnesses now. They call them rattle harnesses and stuff. So anyways, continue.
All right. So
I
ask again, what is it that you are about to unleash on my farm and my family and my Dubwool? Also very important.
Do you remember when I mentioned that we had encountered some like eldritch horror beings? Then we kind of just moved right past that in that conversation because we were talking about other stuff.
Yeah, that's happened a few times now. You mentioned something about the end of the world, and then just kind of glazed right on by that and left out the screen door. Are you Billy? Billy? Are you about to end the world on our farm?
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully the opposite. But I mean, it's a possibility, I suppose.
That is. There were so many answers that I would have accepted.
Really, we're trying to save the Pokemon and the world. The world is. We're seeing whether or not our first attempt has worked.
All right. Well, like I said, there's some bombed out buildings on the back 40 that I always meant to tear down and do something with, but we never had a chance. So, if you're gonna blow something up, might as well do it back there.
Hey, thank you, for this opportunity. And we'll see you in, a perfectly safe hour or two once this is completely dealt with and resolved.
I'm coming with you. Okay, yeah. I gave you permission to end the world in the bombed out buildings on the back 40. I did not give you permission to end the world in the bombed out buildings on the back 40 unsupervised.
Yeah, now that I hear you say it,
I mean, I
abs-
feel like backup is a good idea, honestly. Given the trouble we all had collecting this one, if it is still a missing number and not whatever Pokemon it was before, I think that would be a fine idea.
It is at this point that she catches sight of Professor Maple also stumbling up behind, and she just goes, "Oh, Maple, I might have known you were involved with this."
Let's all get back to the building. We're all doing the best that we can, dear. All right, with what we have. Let's go. Come on, Professor. I don't need them to fight.
It's a little bit of a trek to get back there. Billy's doing fine, but the rest of you who are not casually accustomed to just like the concept of a little ways back there being like a 45-minute walk.
Just a good stretch of the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Eventually, you get into a section of the farm that is overgrown and undeveloped. Billy, you've been back here a few times, wandering, but it's not. The terrain isn't very good for much of anything, and there's a lot of crap back here that would need to be cleared away for it to be to really be usable. Um, and then, sort of near the center of it, there are some old prefab buildings, kind of similar construction to the lab out on Absol Island, though in even worse condition. Um, it looks like there was a fire or something that destroyed most of them. Though through the sort of the overgrown kudzu, you can still see the insignia of the Surge Battalion.
I think Billy probably like hid out here like once or twice back when he was still young enough to not realize that hiding from the punishment and delaying it just makes it so much worse.
Just get over.
You go to the trouble of bringing a Switch back as a peace offering.
oof.
Someone who has switched. I hate this. Corporal punishment has been proven from 25 years of study to be bad.
And
Don't do it, people.
And that's why I'm not going to do it.
Good. Everybody, looking at you, chat. Don't do it.
Yes, that's everyone out there in chat land who is definitely going to be doing that. Don't be doing that.
I feel like most of our viewers already know this. But
yeah.
We only inflict violence on curmudgeon-y old men and pricks who litter in graveyards. Exclusive. And corporations. Sorry. And corporations.
And corporations. This is, in fact, the liberal future we want.
You can punch old men if they deserve it, and I will die on that hill.
This is the future liberals do, in fact, want. Punch old white man, corporations, people who litter in graveyards. That's it. That's the list.
I'm dead. We're doing so good this session. Thank you, chat. You guys keep it real out here.
Right.
So, all right. Well, hey, if you're gonna end the world, this is the place.
Let's get this over with. How are we doing this? What's going to happen? Is it going to pop out and attack us, or like?
Well, I'm going to release it, and then if we're right, then it should be a caught Pokemon. It ought to be friendly enough, I suppose. But if it's not, go ahead.
Can we prepare actions?
Sure. What are you looking to do?
I just want to make sure that we get the Pokeball back. Like, it doesn't like ding off in like somewhere we can't reach it. after effort springs, and I want to make
Okay.
sure we're all ready to like attack should that be necessary.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can do so.
Cool. That's all.
But if it's not, well, then I imagine we'll find out pretty quickly.
We're setting up an
Great.
ambush.
All right. Get into positions. And I imagine we will attempt to take up our positions. Which, like, I guess that's debatable what those are.
Mhm.
But I'm sort of imagining us, like, uh, standing at least the 4 points around the Pokeball. Maybe
Mhm.
5 points if Billy's mom is involved. And,
Mhm.
like, just having a Pokemon out and ready to attack if we need it.
Mhm.
Was there anything in particular that was more effective when you were fighting it the first time?
Very good question.
Not that Will remembers.
Yeah.
I do specifically remember there was some discussion about type advantage, and I clarified that unless any of you had something that was specifically strong against bird type, that was not
Right.
going to be the case.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
And then
flying,
I argued,
bird.
Bird. Yeah.
yes, and then I argued that I did, and you didn't believe me.
It's true, I was dubious.
Dubious.
Yeah.
No good reason to not trust our prior Team
Mhm.
Rocket member.
I mean, in
Mhm.
my experience, Julian just have fire Pokemon, and in my experience, fire is very effective against birds, as evidenced by like 3 or 5 meals I eat a week.
Yeah, it's true. Feathers smell terrible when
I
they're
suppose
done.
in the grand scheme of things, you could argue that fire types are effective against a lot of things.
That's how you get the protein types out of them.
Anyway, you guys take up your positions, and at that point, the Professor Maple's like, "All right, well, are you ready? I guess, should I just do it? Should I just do?"
Like, just
You misspelled
hairspray all around
sparrows.
the chasing sparrows.
uh,
You
How
misspelled
dare.
sparrows, Matt. I don't know what a sparrow is.
No, it's a sparrow. I'm not sure about what
This
type.
is pre the warp when there were just actual animals.
Actual sparrow. All right.
Billy's been Pokemon training for a long time, a lot longer than anyone expects.
Chat's like, we want to know whether it worked, and we're like, no, we're just gonna like continue the jokes until you're all ready to murder us.
It's like we keep vamping and we have no reason to vamp.
No, you know what? That is a good description of our channel in general. Like,
True. It's fair.
all right, well, and okay, I'm gonna do it. You're all okay. Are you all ready? Okay, let me know.
Just throw it.
Let me
Are
know if the
you
world
ready?
Don't
ends.
throw it, drop it.
Just throw the ball.
For that.
She's all right.
Whatever.
Pokemon, I choose you. And he tosses out the Pokemon, the Pokeball, and it opens up in a flash of light. And suddenly, standing there in the middle of the clearing, is a sort of a figure, Pokemon, you think, medium height, bipedal, very hairy. Sort of the gentle breeze that kind of like tussles its long fur along with the leaves. And it sort of straightens up and looks around confusedly, returning to regard each of you in turn. Its face is darkened and hard to see through. You're not sure if it's like a hood or if it's a part of its fur, and just these pair of glowing inset eyes and a large mouth. And it kind of reminds you of Abomasnow and a little bit of Jinx, but it's not a Pokemon any of you have seen before. And finally, it sort of looks around and looks back at Professor Maple and just says, Frizzetti?
Can I use empathy and try to sort of feel out the Pokemon and like I mean it is a Pokemon. This worked.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeep, yeep. It's a 3. Not great. But here we are.
Yeah, it's difficult to really get like a good vibe on it.
Julian, offer it some of your poker food, your Pokemon food.
Julian nods and then slowly, like not making any sudden moves, reaches behind his back to pull out a Ziploc bag full of potato and leek soup.
No, the
As he
Pokemon
does
pellets
so,
you make. Oh God.
as he does so, he says, "You all laughed at me." And he is gonna gently insert the straw into one end of the soup bladder and then like set it down on the ground. Take a few steps towards the Frizzetti and set it down on the ground, and then very slowly, like and non-threateningly, back away from it as well.
The
What?
Frizzetti sort of kind of sniffs at it and then sits down cross-legged and starts Capri Sunning that.
How
It's good
dare.
soup.
A very dare. Hmm.
Eventually,
I figure
go ahead.
Well,
when you're cold, you want soup. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. And it shotguns that potato and leek soup, and then lets out a belch that looks inexplicably frosty.
well, the world hasn't ended. I feel like this is a success.
I think so. I think this is
I mean, I've never
think-
seen that Pokemon before, but I mean,
nor have I. I think my theory was correct. I think it was right. I was right.
Well, tell it to do something.
I don't know. What do I don't know.
I think Julian, I think you and Billy were the one that caught it, and it did take the soup from you. I think this might be your Pokemon.
Oh shit! Who threw the ball?
I think you did.
God, all right.
I think I specifically handed it to you so you could throw it.
Julian is just he's like Arthur fisting at his side. God, what a phrase. I'm sorry, I take it all back. And on a long list of things I regret tonight, nobody clip that. Don't clip that.
Absolutely will not at all do that with the power you have invested upon me.
Don't clip that.
Nope, not making a note at all.
Julian,
That's fine.
Frustratedly, Julian will take a deep breath and start walking towards it.
We're walking. We're moving. We're moving on.
Marty,
Moving on.
Moving on.
That is not a category of charity donation that we do.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
Thanks, Haz. He's doing his best.
We
to
appreciate
hide it.
that.
I take a few steps forward and I put out my hand as I go. I'm kind of just sort of like reaching out very slowly and non-threateningly to see how close I can get to. this
It
Pokemon.
regards you somewhat warily, but it doesn't stop you.
Hey, bud. Um, please don't break my mind. I'm just gonna real quick. I'm just gonna touch you, and then we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be pals. You like that? Do you like that soup? There's a lot more
Can I
soup where that came from.
can I do a heart roll to like kind of like identify how I think this is gonna go?
Sure.
All right, hold on. For some
Oh,
reason, something's going on. I don't
also,
know
you
what's
keep
going
describing this as a Pokemon, but all I'm seeing is a 90s ice cream mascot.
on. I think I'm frozen in some way. There we go. Cool. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Because of this ice Pokemon. I'm very baffled by the fact that it had bird type,
Ooh,
and now
nice.
Now it's ice and hair type.
So that is
yeah.
a total of 9. So I got an 8 and a 1 on that spread. So 9 total.
Your heart is telling you that it's probably gonna be okay.
Not gonna get bit or anything because I feel like Julian's gonna be real salty about getting bit.
You're getting like you're getting some apprehension from the Pokemon, from Frizetti, as it indicated with the fact that all Pokemon can say their names.
Mhm.
That's a science thing. Um,
Yet another
and
point in Digimon's favor. Go on.
and it sort of like, but while it's apprehensive, you don't get the sense that it is aggressive.
All right. Cool. And once Julian is able to sort of like touch its shoulder or whatever very gingerly, uh, he will reach into a pocket and pull out some of the actual like poke food that he carries around with him and offer it to Frizzetti.
Cool.
Do you want me to roll heart to convince it not to be apprehensive, or are we most
Yeah, go ahead. I think that sounds
Befriend
good.
your Pokemon. Do it.
gonna try? And I am tempted to actually. Oh no, I have a D6. That's probably fine. For a second, I thought I had a what do you call it? D4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I rolled exactly a 4. So
Mm.
And still seems a bit unsure, but it is relaxing more noticeably, and it is eagerly consuming the Pokemon treats.
Well,
Ju- Julian's gonna like turn around and give a thumbs up.
she's like, yeah, I have a unique Pokemon. The only one in the world.
He doesn't seem excited about it, but he does give a
She's
thumbs up. Yes,
concerned, kind of like a concerned fear, excitement. Like, this is good, I guess.
Mhm.
Billy's gonna lean in case his mom is unaware and just like, I'm pretty sure that means that the world isn't gonna end this time. That is not the eldritch monstrosity, at least that we were familiar with.
All right.
So, how many more of these do we have to do?
I I unfortunately don't know exactly. I don't know how I don't know how many missing numbers there are out there, frankly. Never really been able to quantify it before.
Would
I got
Silphbo
one
know?
being missing.
Ah, they might.
Well,
Let's break back into Silphco, dude. I am always down.
And
Well,
Billy looks straight at Julian and gives one of these, and it's like, we certainly could go there for the first time. And looks pointedly at his mother, like with eyes panning to the left.
Oh, that's right. You told Billy we were breaking in last time.
Let's hug our way into Silphco. Yes.
With our friends that we know there, who will happily let us in.
You think your mother's going to be less upset by you having friends at Silphco than she would be knowing you're actively working against them. I want you to think about that, Billy. Really think about that.
I mean, I think it's still a net positive versus doing crime.
I mean, you know your mother and I are friends, right?
I think on some level she would be proud of Billy, and then on another much deeper level, she would be very mad at me.
Should be a very accurate summation.
I think she's likely to be angry at both of us for being bad influences, and then also very proud of Billy for like doing the right thing, but mad at us for like endangering her child. So
let's keep that under.
I mean, she's standing right there. I don't know why you think she hasn't probably overheard this.
She looks as though she is trying really hard to not have heard this and is waiting very patiently for you guys to change the subject.
Hey, where's that ball? Let me put this thing away.
Oh, he's been trapped for so long. Don't put him in the Pokeball already.
Exactly. See?
He's been a monstrosity.
Do I see the champion ball? Like, can I?
You do, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I will not immediately put him in the ball, but I will pick it up.
You're a big softy.
Well, now that we know that it works, then I think we just need to be able to get our hands on more of those champion balls. And I should be able to make the same modifications. Julian, you said you knew where you could get some.
I knew of someone who knew of them. I can circle back and try to call in a favor. You are referencing when I was talking about my sister, right, Julie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But Julie said that while they had heard about champion balls, it's not like they had a stockpile of them or anything, right?
She had mentioned that they had been buying some from Silphco, that they had some early access.
All right, then I missed that. Yes, I think so. As long as everybody's luck's been real bad this week, yeah.
Well, all right.
Who am I kidding? It's all rigged. I can try to get some. Yeah. Where should we meet? Are we going back to the gym now that we have our new friend here?
Sure, I think. Well, I mean, if you don't mind me staying there,
I think that's the safest place for you. We don't want Silphco to get their hands on you. They already sent those dogs last time.
Hopefully attacking a gym outright. Hopefully they're not ready to do that just yet. This is extreme, but I'm hoping that there are certain lines that they won't cross unless they're really desperate.
Also, we fucked those dogs up anyway.
Sort of.
I stalled those dogs and then ran away.
You got away from the dogs.
Yeah. I got them in a stun and then left.
Well, what is your definition of, fucked up?
Also, the only people who can speak words to recount the story escaped. So we can
say it.
Whatever I
Really?
want happened.
I can say whatever I want. Well,
Correct.
uh, oh my
Uh,
gosh.
Brennan, how do you spell this thing?
Spell what? Sorry.
Frizzetti.
Frizzetti.
Oh, Freezeti.
Oh,
Okay.
Freezetti.
Freezetti. Yeah, it's a
Freezetti.
it's a fan name.
I thought you were going with Frizz, as in
No,
frizzy
no.
hair Eddie. 'cause you
No,
described
no.
it
The
being so
the
fuzzy.
fan name that exists for this thing is Freezetti.
Oh, all right. So,
Oh,
question.
this is like an established thing.
Sort of, kind of. Yeah.
Is it just I can try to look it up and answer my own question then.
It might be a little bit difficult. There's not a lot of information on it.
I can
Got it. All right.
I can link you the tweet where someone has all the pictures.
Yes.
I did find the pictures.
I
Okay.
did not. You said
Basically,
freeze.
I think basically. I think the only thing I really need to know is it just a straight ice type or does it have something else going for it?
It's actually Ice Psychic.
Nice. All right, cool. Then I am good to go. That is all the information that I need.
Cool.
Okay, so can we do a 10-minute break real quick so I can let these doggos out?
Sure.
Oh, it's adorable. Sorry.
Sounds good.
It is pretty cute. All right. Yeah, we will be right back. Don't go away.
And we are back. So, at this point, what is the crew gonna get up to?
I'm gonna call Frizzetti back to the Pokeball, the champion ball, rather, and
Mhm.
gonna start gearing up to head to the game corner, I guess.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. If you want to do that first, we could totally do that first, and then afterwards, I have a thing.
I actually need to step away for 2 seconds. I know we just got back from break, but if you want to do your thing first.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. All right,
Um,
I will be right back.
the one thing we have not spoken about is that we do have the option of releasing the information we found. If this was a problem caused by Silphco, we could release now having a Pokemon that was once a missing number and being able to prove it. If we capture another Pokemon and film the capture and the release and show what was done, we could just burn them in the press, as the chat says.
Yeah, I mean that would. I think if we had the video, that would be a pretty strong case.
With that and the professor's data and their own records that we've taken about the situation. 'Cause didn't we steal some data from them?
You didn't steal data from Silphco, but you got one of the proprietary consoles that Professor Maple needed to make the modifications.
Okay.
But the data that you had was from the computer tower that your father had left on Absol Island.
Right. And that showed how far back this had been an issue from. Because I guess
The
that's my confusion, is this has been going on for a while.
Yes, more or less. Though it's become so according to Professor Maple, this had occurred in the past.
Mhm.
There was at least one major outbreak, um, a little over 20 years ago. Um, and according to Charlie Geller, when in the conversation that he had with Julian, who Charlie also seemed to know some things about it, uh, according to Charlie Geller, the eruption of the volcano on Cinnabar Island was not coincidental. Uh, and but then after that, there had not been any major outbreaks until recently, and those outbreaks were linked to this uh, faulty champion ball that they were putting out.
Okay. So I guess the question is, do we want to try to hold Silco accountable? And do we want to try what do we want to try to do about these people that have gone missing? Charlie was able to contact you from wherever that is, but
How would we get them back?
well, if the Pokemon can come back, I don't see any reason. And if Charlie was able to come back after that in order to communicate with you, I don't see any reason the Pokemon would be the only thing we could get back.
I mean, but we aren't we kind of fixing the Pokemon?
We're fixing the Pokemon, but the Pokemon, well, I don't know. Charlie described it as devouring them, but I mean, he also indicated that there was somewhere he was coming from, a holding place or something that the Pokemon were dragging him into.
So we have to catch Charlie.
Gotta catch them all.
Really, the solution is to throw hacked Pokeballs at ghosts until they return to the world of the living.
I've been saying that this whole time.
Well, this is it. Like, we don't know that they're dead. Like, he did come from a place. He described it as coming from a place in order to come talk to you, and he was a physical person, not a ghost when he came to talk to you.
Cyber ghosts.
Yes, a cyborg ghost. I don't know what that means.
Also, Billy's having weird visions. We haven't
Yeah, but
even
isn't that-
addressed that.
Isn't that kind of the point, though? Like, isn't that the point of everything you've been making him do?
No, that's that's an entirely different type of psychic, dear.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse me for,
It's
the
only
wrong
okay
kind
when
of
they
visions.
cause the visions. If they
Yeah.
just happen on their own, that's a natural.
That's
Yeah.
I
me, I
mean,
guess.
I mean, if someone's breaking into your mind and lighting stuffed animal Pokemon on fire, that's cause for concern. Or it's a horrible joke by one of my cousins. Get straight, God, Julian. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, there's a lot going on, and we need to focus on what we want to do. If we wrap up this whole missing numbers, then we might be closing the only doorway to getting those people back.
Charlie was pretty dead set on the fact that we weren't getting him back, right? Or am I imagining that?
Charlie didn't know how to get
Okay.
people back.
But
When you brought it up to Professor Maple, he had only just figured out how to get the champion balls working. He suggested he might be able to figure out a way to bring them back or to at least get into the place where they are. But it would require access to the teleportation technology that they have in Silphco. That wouldn't be something that you'd be able to steal. You would have to get him into it and get him prolonged access to it. And even then, he said he wasn't even 100% sure that it would work.
well, it sounds like it's time for blackmail then.
You know what? I'm going to leave that part of this to you.
Mm.
And I'm going to go see about those. I'm going to go see a man about some balls. Billy, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just gonna keep
Thievery or blackmail, Billy? Choose.
I was just gonna keep fixing up the gym, I guess. I don't know if your sister's my biggest, or yeah, my biggest fan, and I don't
What?
know if I
What?
know how to blackmail.
Oh, you'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, it's time you learned. Go with Estelle.
You can stay here if you want. Just keep an eye on the professor.
Also, I think we discussed this, and like Billy was told that blackmail was just a special kind of letter she sent to people.
We
when she ate
did,
something.
yeah. We did. I remember that. Or federal crime, Billy Pig. You are assuming laws that we don't know are in place.
I guess I can
It's
write
corporate
letters.
blackmail. They're not people.
If that's what you want to do, Estelle. I don't know how that would help, but I'm happy to help write some letters.
Oh, right. No. If you want, Billy, you could stay here. I'm sure Professor Maple might need your help, and you should really spend some time figuring out what's going on with that. I don't even know. I guess it was a vision.
I mean, it hasn't happened again, so it's probably not anything worth worrying about that will ever recur again and lead to greater problems down the line.
Absolutely. Right? Yes, that is in fact. I see you and Julian have been spending quite a deal of time together.
Professor, I mean, I've been working on like my kind of psychic abilities through Estelle's family, so if you want to work on that whole like techno shaman thing, I don't know, maybe I can help with that.
I would love to, Billy, though unfortunately frankly, at the moment, I am currently working on this console so that I can try to tune as many of these champion balls as I can once we have them. Once we have at least a palette of those in hand, I want to be able to make the modifications as fast as possible. Frankly, if it takes me as long as it did on every single one of those balls, it's going to take forever. And I think if we're going to have any chance of getting this situation under control, I'm going to have to start making these modifications en masse.
Actually, on that note, I probably should stay with the professor just in case Silpco decides to send anything after him again. Someone should probably be here.
True. Well, Julian, you go see your sister, and then we'll all go to Silpco together if need be.
Way ahead of you.
Yeah.
Julian's already in his truck. The engine's already running.
That's fine.
He peels out of the baker.
I turn to say that, and you can actually hear the wheels squealing. Like, and I'm like, oh, never mind. Yep. Julian's on it.
There's just Frizzetti hanging out the bed of the truck as it rolls by.
Frizzetti. He's got the Yeti hair just flowing in the breeze. Like
I'm glad that you have keyed into like how I pictured that Pokemon voice sounding in my head.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Splitting the party 3 ways. Awesome.
No, I'm with Billy still. I'm with Billy and the professor still.
Okay.
We're waiting for Julian to get back.
I thought you were going to go do blackmail.
I'm going to do blackmail. I'm just waiting for them because I'm going to teach them a thing or two about blackmail. I have to hand down these ways, or else the next generation will not know what to do when they get in these situations.
Okay, so Julian is going to go to the game corner. Both Billy and Estelle are staying behind at the Pokemon Center, and you're not going to Silpco yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
We're waiting for Julian.
Okay. Cool. Guess in that case, okay, all right, yes. In that case, we'll do Julian first here.
Does the game corner door guy know me on site now?
He clocks you and looks like he's going to come over and say something, and then is like, thinks better of it and just walks the other way.
As is swiftly becoming tradition, I'm just going to walk straight back into Julie's office.
Mhm.
I remember if we made this reference last time, but it feels very Scott returns to like Scott's
Mhm.
second trip into
Yes.
the.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, hey,
What?
Julian. How's it going? Not knocking still. That's cool.
No, family privileges. Now that we're, full-fledged in each other's lives siblings.
All right. What you want?
Balls.
Mm,
He's just
yeah,
trying to
I
get the
could.
phrasing
I mean,
again.
I knew this. Can you be more specific?
You mentioned that you had been stockpiling champion balls.
Uh, yeah, we have a few. We have a few of them.
Yeah, I'm going to need uh, all of them to save the world.
Right. All right. So you're gonna need all of them,
Yeah,
all of the ones that
Did you bring your Pokemon in with you?
we have here.
probably
Okay.
not. I
You're
think he
gonna
would have told
save,
Frizzetti to stay put.
and
Okay.
you're gonna okay, and
Keep
you're
the engine running.
gonna just all right, just save the world with those.
Yeah,
Okay.
protect it from devastation. Mm,
Right? Yeah, yeah. You unite all peoples within our nation. Yes, I also watched the training video. We watched it at the same time.
There's a
Yeah, so
training
then
video.
what's the
That
problem?
that actually makes so much sense though. Like if you just take their exaggerated antics as like the people in those type of videos,
Yep.
Yeah,
I
they're
wanna
that works
absolutely like
really well.
I wanna watch the 80s Team Rocket training video.
they're absolutely the uh what do you call it? Sorry, the infomercial people who
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
do anything.
Mhm. All right.
Yeah, look, we can get into it if you want. I can explain exactly what it is I'm going to do with them and what's going on, but
It's honestly it's not, Julian, it's not a question of what you're going to do with them. It's a question of whether I can just sign something like that over to you. I mean, getting our hands on those was the culmination of a pretty serious campaign that I was running on Silphco. There's a lot of work that a lot of people put into getting those, a lot of money
Fix
that was spent, and I've been doing you some favors lately, and I hate to put it like that, like I said, trying to give this sibling thing a try again, but hey, I'm happy to help you break into Silphco, but this is a big ask, and it's nothing personal, but I gotta get something in return for that. It's not just about the money either. I have a position to maintain here in the organization, and I can't be seen just giving you the keys to the candy store here just because you're my brother. But I think we can probably work something out.
you're you're really doing this.
Yeah, I am. And frankly, I'm not I don't know that I necessarily appreciate you taking that particular tone with me after you just walked into my office, my place of work, without asking, and asked me to just give you just thousands of Poke worth of merchandise just because.
We could fix them. I'm not there, but Julian knows this.
Oh, Julian's not rational
No.
under
Yes.
the best of circumstances.
You know what? Okay, I gotta be honest. Okay, look at it this way, Julian. Got a position to maintain here. If too many other people in the organization think that I've got a soft spot for you, and I'm not saying I don't, but perception is everything. They'll use you to get to me. They'll use your friends to get to you, to get to me. Or if they think I'm vulnerable, they'll they'll make a move on me. Same way that I did to get where I am. And then if I'm not here, who's going to get you what you need? It's all perception, bro. It's all illusion.
Power lies in perception.
Is it? Is it illusion at this point?
All
Because
lies all lies begin with a grain of truth.
because Julie, I was fine. I was out. You were the one who kept reaching out to me, who kept trying to mend fences. And do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why I never tried the same thing with you? Do you know why I never stopped by or reached out? Because I knew, or I thought I knew, where your priorities were. And I knew that as long as you were putting the organization at the top of your list, there was never going to be there's never going to be room for me, for who we were before any of this. Which isn't to say that I'm not grateful for everything you've done. I came to you. I asked for help and you gave it to me. And I appreciate that. And I don't know if you can't hear yourself right now, or if you're just so far gone that it doesn't register.
You are such a piece of work, Julian. Don't don't talk to me like you have any idea what I had to do just to get by after you left. Don't talk to me like you have any idea what I had to sacrifice to get here, to get a little piece of mine. Don't you always you were always too good for any of this. You were always too good to want anything more than that shit situation we grew up in. And you know what? I kept reaching out to you still because as much as you drive me freaking crazy, as much as you make my life difficult, even when you were out, you ever wonder why nobody in the organization ever came after you? You think most people in Team Rocket get that kind of privilege? Think most people in Team Rocket get to just walk away? Live their little culinary dreams? No strings attached? I made sure you were safe, and I kept reaching out to you. I still wanted you in my life. But you never once even tried to to reciprocate until the moment you wanted something. And the moment you wanted something for nothing, the way you still want something for nothing. You want me to you want me to just throw everything away for you just because you asked me to.
No, Julie, I want you to throw everything away for you. You say that I was always too good for this, but that's not true. You were too. We both were. And I tried to get you to leave with me, and I don't blame you for not. And I'm not ungrateful that you protected me, but I didn't plan to stay here when I left. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I certainly didn't think I was going to end up. I certainly didn't think I was going to end up cooking food in the town that changed everything.
All right. Look, Julian,
Julie, Julie. It's the world. It's the whole fucking world.
you keep look, I get that you keep saying that, but it's it's so hard for people to wrap their heads around like what you're saying. Like I'm not even completely sure that I believe you. I want to believe you. That's why I've been helping you as much as I can. And I still want to help you. But this is my world. And all I'm trying to do is help you save the world without destroying mine.
So stop being that person.
You
Stop
that's
being the boss and be that girl who helped an old lady smuggle Pokemon out of the fighting ring. Because yeah, I know about that. So if you can't wrap your head around the big picture, if you can't wrap your head around the world, fine, don't. But people and Pokemon, Julie, they're gonna they're gonna die. Fuck Team Rocket.
I can't just let him go, Julian. Not for nothing. But I can make a trade. I mean, I think I can set something up. Something that'll bring us in enough money that nobody is going to care about a few pallets of champion balls. And I want you to consider it. Okay? We can get your boy Billy to fight here in the game corner. Real bona fide Pokemon League gym leader. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big enough that it's not going to matter about those Pokeballs that you want. I'll get as many as you want, as many as you need. Heck, heck, I'll be your connection with Silphco. You don't want to start. You don't want to keep breaking in again. I can use that money. I'll buy as many of them as you want. You can save the world as many times over as you want. Maybe, hey, does good enough, make enough money. Maybe I can buy our way out. I can pay off the right people. So nobody has to watch our backs, yours and mine. And then maybe everybody gets what they want. Just think about it.
They really got you. Huh. Like all this time I thought you were playing them. I knew what you were doing, but I thought you still knew that it was wrong. That everything they do and everything we do for them is wrong. Here's my counteroffer, Julie. And it's the only one I can give because I'm not exploiting some kid the way that they did to me. Or you. Walk away. Walk away from the whole thing. The organization, everything. If we have to leave town, then we leave town, but we do it together. And if we have to run, then we run. But I promise I'm not going to leave you alone. And you have until tonight to make up your mind. Because tonight, whether you are with me or not, I'm coming back here and I'm tearing this whole goddamn building apart. And I'm taking those champion balls.
Julian, you gotta understand. I know this is gonna be hard for you. You say that I can't see the big picture, but you can't see the world right in front of your face sometimes. What you're saying is either I blow up my life or you blow up my life for me. That's your counteroffer.
You know, if it means so much to you, try and stop me. Maybe they'll give you a promotion. And then Julian's going to walk out.
You hear her call after you. You do this, and even I can't protect you anymore.
He's going to keep walking. Get back in the truck and drive back out to the farm.
All right, then. And guess at that point, so Billy and Estelle, you guys are both hanging out at the farm with Professor Maple. That's right.
Were we at the? We left the farm, right?
Were you at the gym?
I thought we'd head back to the gym for
Okay.
him to work on the stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Julian said he was going back to the farm, so I got confused. So we're going to the gym?
Yeah, we're at the
You guys
gym,
are at the gym? Okay, cool. All right, yeah,
Julian's
so
gonna
you're
get back in his truck and drive
Go
to
back.
the gym.
he's gonna drive out to the farm. He's gonna drive out to the
Realize
farm.
they're not
Billy's
there
mom is
anymore,
gonna be like,
that he got
Julie,
flustered and angry, and he
Julie, what
drove
the
the
fuck
wrong
are you
way.
doing here? Nobody
Catch
is
the exit, turn around.
You know how like you get caught up and you're just mad in your head.
When you're angry driving and you're like, how did I get to the parking lot of this Shoney's?
Why did I drive to work? I don't understand. Like,
So back at the gym with Professor Maple as he is making adjustments to the console. What are you guys kind of up to, busying yourself around the gym?
I think I think Estelle's been making a map of her connections in town, figuring out who will be useful in bringing down Silphco.
Okay.
In
She's
the
got a
event,
string board.
yes, she is in the office building a string board, and it's like not actual names anyone would recognize. It's like their childhood nickname from when she used to watch them for their parents and stuff. And it's just like, the mayor and like several people in the police department and like these reporters and like the richest people in the neighborhood and her sister and and like just the network of the island and the power players.
All right. Billy, what are you getting up to?
Think originally he was taking his self-assigned job of guarding the professor very seriously and was like hovering around closely and observing him with all of his Pokemon out. And at some point, the professor reached like critical mass of just like irritation, and as kindly as he could, asked Billy to like keep watch outside.
Hmm.
So now he's outside, just like kind of playing and training with his Pokemon outside the gym, so that the professor can actually have peace to work.
Okay. And it is as you are doing that, sort of playing with your Pokemon out in the uh, sort of the garden, that you sort of like a strange feeling. Feel the kind of static electricity. Sort of feel the hairs on your arm stand up, and it taste in your mouth like battery acid.
It's odd. Do you have a direction I feel this in at all?
It's moving. It's nearby and it's moving. You would have to reach out with your senses to get a lock on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a feel for it.
Okay.
Aura?
Yep.
That is unfortunately a 3.
It's hard to really get a bead on, but it's definitely here. It's definitely nearby somewhere. Estelle, go ahead and give me a roll for your psychic ability as well.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 5.
Okay. It's as you are sort of notating up on your board the childhood nicknames of the Jennies assorted who occupy the various constabulary ranks here in Esper Bay, that you also get that sort of like taste in your mouth. You feel your hair sort of starting to kind of like frizz up, and you sort of hear this kind of like tinny, almost kind of dial tone in your ears.
Is this at all familiar? Like, have I run into this before or experienced this before?
It is kind of a danger sense for you, but it's always different. It's usually keyed to whatever the threat specifically is, but it's sort of a spidey sense of imminent danger or danger to someone near you.
Okay. I think Estelle is like, as she's like, she gets this tingle like up the back of her spine and sort of that weird dial tone sense. And she's like in the middle of like putting up another string on her weird, crazy board of connections. And she drops it and runs out the door like on her little granny legs. And she starts shouting for Billy and the professor to get inside. Uh, and she turns to Haunter and says, "Get them inside!" And like he shoots off ahead.
Okay. And so, Billy, you were sort of trying to kind of pinpoint this when you see Haunter just sort of like phase through the wall. just like get directly up in your business, uh, and start like bodily shaking you with his claws.
Um,
Inside.
I think Billy kind of like tries to shake it off and like look around it, and I feel like him and Shiloh are particularly like trying to kind of scan the horizon to see what they're feeling.
Okay. Go ahead and you roll your aura with Shiloh's psychic.
And
Ooh.
so that's a
Uh,
19.
All right. You are reaching out again, and you are very in tune with Shiloh, and you sort of start to see the world through this almost kind of photo negative lens. The auras that cling to everything, that give you information, little bits and pieces about everything, like the feelings people have left on them when they've passed by or touched them. And you can almost kind of see through the walls of the gym. And you actually see Estelle, you see Estelle's Pokemon, you see the professor, and you see another shape, a shape in the main gym area above where the professor is currently working. There is another aura. There is another Pokemon in the gym. And based on the energy that you see pulsing out of it, you're pretty sure that it is about to unleash an attack.
It's gonna go just running back into the gym, with like grab Shiloh, and then as they burst into the gym, like is sending Aster specifically to like knock the professor kind of out of the way of the
Okay.
attack.
As that happens, so Aster runs up and headbutts Professor Maple out of the way. As Estelle, you look up, as your senses are drawn up to hovering in the catwalks over the main gym floor. You see the sort of hovering, smooth, oddly slick shape of a Pokemon. Uh, and that static electricity becomes much more intense. You see these arcs of lightning uh, shooting off of its body and onto the surrounding light fixtures before it forms this grid that blows out the lights in a shower of sparks and drops this lightning grid, this electro web down onto the floor of the gym, only narrowly missing Aster and Professor Maple.
um,
Just
I
real quick,
think
is this a battle?
One could describe it as a battle, yes.
I think before she does anything else, Estelle sends out essentially like the family alert, like that they do when one of them is in danger.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna have to roll for that.
Okay.
And because the gym is under attack, so this is a bold ass move. And it's one hopefully the Esper is not gonna put up with. Can I utilize um Dottler's telepathy?
Sure.
Okay, so that's their special ability. Do you want me to I wouldn't normally roll for that. How do you want me to do that one?
I will um give you a d6 in addition to your normal psychic ability roll.
Okay. do that. So that it's a 7.
Okay.
Also,
You
Brendan, is this one of the ones you sent me?
this would be Porygon Z.
Ah, okay. Okay. Give me a couple minutes.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not minutes, but
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, no, you reach out with your mind and you send out the distress signal that you and your sisters have been trained in from the time that you were young girls. Your mother was very insistent upon it. To the point of occasionally deliberately putting you in actual danger just to see how well you had mastered sending out the psychic distress signal.
I once was grounded for a week because my first thought was to run and not to send out the distress signal. You
And so
feel
that
like you're imminent danger. Death is going to happen, and then you do this. I probably will be in trouble for not having done that for missing numbers.
Mhm. But yes, you have successfully sent that out. Your sisters are almost certainly aware that you are in danger and have a general fix on your location.
Okay. The
Sure.
only other thing I'm going to do is take a movement to try to be in front of the professor to protect him.
Okay. And it's because you and Billy sort of both form up with the professor behind you as the Porygon Z sort of just silently, completely silently, not even really necessarily like regarding you or looking at you, just hovers slowly towards the gym floor. It's oddly smooth textures kind of just swiveling back and forth as it scans around for the professor.
I don't think it can see him. Do you think it needs to visually see him, Billy?
Hmm, I'm not sure. It seemed to know where he was before.
Ooh, spooky
Spooky, spooky
Porygon.
fun. Ooh.
I mean, either way, it doesn't seem to. It seems to mean him and us potential harm. So,
I'm just trying to figure out whether it wants both of us or sorry, we're also stalling while this gets set up.
Mm,
um whether it wants both of us or just the professor.
I mean, we can't let it have what it wants either way, right?
True. All right. Looks like it's time. We haven't licensed that music. Don't do it all the way.
I mean, it's literally playing in the background right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't get to recorded to YouTube.
It's true.
mm.
So,
It's true.
Okay,
it's it's fine.
I'm pretty sure they can't DMCS for me badly mumbling the battle music.
You never know.
You
All
know,
right.
fair
Pokemon
enough.
Company.
God,
The-
that's
The
that
lawyers.
ain't that the truth.
They are the true big bad.
All right, well, if you guys want to roll off for initiative.
Tactics. All right. When is it? So Julian did not arrive in time for this.
Julian has not arrived in time for this.
Well, that is an unfortunate roll on my part.
Mm,
You know what? The psychic shout out, it took a little out of me. It's fine.
all right, so in that case, the Porygon's go. So what Pokemon are of yours are out currently?
I mean, it's Billy and me, so all of them. We don't put our Pokemon away.
So I will say for the sake of sanity and just for the sake of like the logistics of being able to work with Pokemon in a battle, which Pokemon do you two want to be your active battlers in this situation?
It's Shiloh for me. Aster is standing over the professor, keeping him safe.
Okay.
So Shiloh is the one staring intently at this thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Haunter. I guess Mr. Mime is back there, but I did mention Haunter recently, so we'll go with Haunter.
Okay. Hunter and Shiloh. Okay. All right. Well, that does not succeed. So the Porygon charges up another one of those electro webs, electricity arcing through the skylights and all of the cables and electronics, actually burning out sections of the wall that you had just repainted. Uh, Casting down this electrical net, trying to entrap all of you, your Pokemon, and the professor all in one go, but it overextends itself and it can't maintain the voltage over all of you, and because of that, it all just kind of fizzles out. And then, Billy, it's your go.
Okay. Um, Shiloh is gonna focus in on this thing, and it's just gonna start concentrating. And as psychic energy starts to kind of like push in on it from around it, do another D6 and D10. Oof. Okay, salvaged it. That's a 10.
Okay.
Was that critical?
Uh, yes, that does crit. It's 10 total. That does crit.
So it'll do we'll have it do the normal damage, but psychic, when it's crit, we add the specialty that it reduces the target's toughness by 1 against special moves.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Okay.
And then Hunter.
So I think I am going to use my Dark Pulse. And makes sense mostly to do with tactics. So do. Yes. 1d8. I do. There you go. Oh, nice. All right, so roll 1d8. So that is a total of 20.
Oh, okay. Cool beans. Well, that's a double crit.
Yes. So normally Dark Pulse like causes like a flinch, but I don't know if we determined if we were doing that with it.
No, yeah, I mean that works. Yeah, you can have it. You can have it inflict a flinch. Since you got a
Oh,
doubled crit, you could have it do extra damage and a flinch.
awesome. Let's do that. We'll do extra damage and then a flinch, and that way she good for next round.
Okay, and I think looking at the status effects for flinch in this system.
It is a -2 penalty.
-2. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and roll off for initiative again. Actually, do you guys want to describe kind of what these psychic and dark assaults look like, respectively?
Go ahead, Billy.
Oh yeah, it's just like you see this like aura of like pink energy swirling around this thing as it just starts to push and like compress down. And I think you see the Porygon that's just kind of like has been like kind of rotating and shifting around, like get like kind of almost trapped and like splayed out from like the psychic kind of pressing in around it. And
Kind of weirdly flattened before springing back up again.
Yeah, and that's like where it's kind of defenses for itself as it gets kind of compressed in, weaken.
Okay.
Following that, like, as Estelle and Haunter come forward, it's like the entire gym went dark when it pulsed out and damaged the electrical. And it's almost like the darkness starts to compress in and sort of like take almost a tangible shape, like if it was and it starts to wrap around this thing, and it just once it gets close enough, it's like it pulses in and almost like somebody crushing it.
Mhm.
Because I'm just going to say Dark Pulse can work either way, and this is the way it's working right now. Because there's darkness all around us. Usually it would be pulsing the darkness out, but this thing gave Haunter a lot to work with, so we're going a different way with it, and that's why it hurts so bad.
Okay. And then, so again, if Heather, you just want to roll for initiative as well.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Also, I got an 11, so I think I'm going first.
Okay. Yes.
Most likely. Yes.
All right. So yes. So Billy is going first.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Oh, we got some Raiders. Hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders. We're in the midst of a Pokemon battle, all right? Oh, what a lovely day.
And Billy is just, or Shiloh is just going to keep like piling on, like just concentrating harder and harder as the psychic energy compresses more and more.
Hi, Freckles.
And that is a 10.
Another 10 total.
Dang.
Yep.
Okay.
And this time,
you come into my house.
Actually, yeah, it's just gonna keep dropping the toughness for special attacks.
Okay.
So this thing is just easier and easier to hit as its like defenses are weakened.
Okay. So say.
Our high graphics.
I like this Porygon's just weird enough that Shiloh's gone into, this must be an Eldritch Horror and I have to pull out all the stops mode. Doesn't realize it's just like a regular Pokemon.
Legit.
This is the Cthulhu level psychic attacks.
Nice. Stella's Pokemon are just like, listen, we've already been attacked at the house once before and it ended really bad. So this is our new place. We can't keep letting this happen.
Yeah, that's really what it was. When it did that electric attack and fucked up the walls, like Billy and Estelle just saw like rage. We've been fixing up the gym.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I know. Do you know how hard it was to convince people to do all this work for free? Electrical is very expensive. Also, our DM just rolled a 15.
Well, so the first one was just to make the move work, and then there was a random effect that occurs after that point.
Okay, gotcha.
As you see after this assault of psychic and darkness, as you see sort of the lines on Porygon begin to sort of shift and move, and the colors on it, the palette shifting. It's no longer sort of this sort of like magenta and blue. It shifts through all sorts of different color combinations rapidly before settling on this black and gray color scheme.
Well, I'm waiting for the graphics update.
Yeah, any moment now, Will.
Yep, any minute now. Freckle sketches. You know what okay, so yeah, did we keep any of the Raiders, or did they just come by to say hi?
No, I don't know.
Maybe. I was gonna ask where they came from, but no, they're gone. It's all good. What they were doing.
A couple of them are still hanging out.
Hi, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
We live, we die, we live again.
We live, we die, we live again. Let us know where you came from, because yeah,
Was
and like what you all were doing.
I want to say.
Well, yeah, but what were they doing before this? With Freckles, like, what was you doing?
What was the color scheme again?
Black and gray.
Are you actually doing?
I would say black and. I was gonna go with black and gray. That seems like it.
I was just giving you shit.
You don't.
Okay.
You do not need to do this.
Nope. I've
Will.
challenged the will. Now we're
All
doomed.
right. Well, in the meantime, while you're seeing the color change in real time, what does Haunter do?
Haunter is I think gonna go hit back in again with Dark Pulse, because we still in the darkness, and might as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that. But go ahead and roll it at a -2.
-2. Gotcha. I hope that works the way I think it will with the math in. Yes. So that should be a 10.
Okay. So 3 plus 9.
Yeah, that is my only D10 ability, so that is why it's getting spammed a little
There
bit.
we go. Yes, that's 12 minus 2, so that becomes 10. Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
I can't do basic math. Never trust me. Don't believe anything that I say.
I put in the -2 on
You did, yes. Yeah, no, sorry. And I was staring at the very easy math problem and not understanding it. Yes, so that is a crit. So do you want to inflict the flinch again?
So the flinch didn't actually really, it just gave it a -2 to its hit.
It gives it a -2 to all of its rolls.
To all of its rolls. Okay. Yeah. And that's just until it shakes it off, or it's just until my next turn?
For its next action, basically.
For its next action.
Yeah.
How beat up does it look?
It's definitely taken damage from both of your attacks, but it is still looking surprisingly hardy.
Then yeah, I think I'm gonna keep kneecapping it with that -2, because
Okay.
if we have longer to go, I'm not just gonna keep spamming the hard hits. I'm gonna try to get it. Ooh, that looks really good, Will. Dang. I should know better than challenge you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that Will's burned through our whole effects budget, we're gonna have to do a pocket episode next time.
Right. Yeah.
That was all we got for the season.
Yep.
That goes there. That was our entire Patreon fund.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna roll off again for initiative.
Oh yes, right. I have responsibilities. I'm not just interacting with people. Yeah. Excellent work. Yes. That's about right. Yay! I'm not the only one.
It's like the first battle in forever where Billy's just leading the charge. I don't know if this has ever happened, actually.
Yeah.
It's
all
good.
Right.
Please do.
Yeah. All right. So, Billy, you are up first.
Just gonna keep crushing away with psychic energy, because Marshall suspects what may have happened, but I have a feeling Billy would not.
Yeah. Shiloh goes to then crush in with the psychic, but you can see the telekinetic force, this bubble crushing in around the Porygon Z, but it just sort of like phases through it, as though it did nothing.
We don't even want to roll for it. Gotcha.
No, it is flatly immune
to psychic.
Yeah,
it's
Dark
immune.
Types are immune to psychic.
Oh, she be darkened now.
Yeah, it used conversion 2, which flipped its type to something that resisted or was immune to the last thing that it was hit with, which prior to the last Dark Pulse was psychic, and so that I rolled the randomization to see which of the types it was going to become, and it landed on Dark.
We got the best possible one for our 2 Pokemon.
Yeah. So, You know what? I'm going to roll tactics and see whether or not Estelle would know this.
Okay.
Woo! That's a pretty decent roll.
Okay,
So,
no, I think at that point, like, yes, especially after seeing that happen, I think that's when it clicks for Estelle.
So I think what Estelle's going to do is, if we can do that here, I would like to call back Haunter and take out Mr. Mime.
Sure. Yeah, that will that'll take your action, but then
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that because
While
I'm
saying
not
loud exactly what she's figured out.
yes. So Estelle goes, I see. It's altered itself a bit. It's a dark type now. Well, come on back, Haunter, and like come on, Mr. Mime. We'll have to figure something out because Mr. Mime got some flaming fists. So let's see what we can do.
Double check what the typing on this is real quick.
I still can't believe you gave me that.
Gave you what?
The fire punch.
Oh, the fire punch. Yeah, I mean, you got like 30 on your mimic roll.
That was amazing. Shall never happen again.
Okay, so that is yes. All right. And you gave it flinch, right?
I did, yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Womp womp. Yep. Well. Okay.
All right.
Well. That did nothing.
I like it.
That did not succeed. That didn't even hit a base success, did it? Nope. Sure didn't. Well, congrats on the flinch. Might have been that might have been a game changer right there. So we can roll off our initiative.
Okay. Oh, Billy. Oh no. God.
To get for talking
Speaking of
shit.
game changers. Okay, speaking of game changers.
Okay, so and Billy, your tactics is also D6, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So at this point, I'm going to have Billy and this guy roll off again.
Do I have any?
This is my moment. I get to go first. Damn it. 7.
Okay, cool. Yes.
All right. With the hit from Estelle, I think Billy's gonna call out, Shallow, you're gonna have to try something different. Why don't you use your voice? And Shallow's gonna do disarming voice, which is a fairy move, which should be super effective. So it should be a +2.
Yes.
Which is good because it's only a D4. Which means I get to reroll that. So that is 2, 4, 6, +3 is 9, +2 is 11.
Okay, cool. So what is the effective disarming voice?
That's a good question. We don't have a crit effect on that one. I was going to look at the move real quick and see if there's anything that it does in particular. Never misses, which isn't really relevant. I mean, I kind of love to keep the flinch going, but that's just me.
Does it? Is that an ability that disarming voice has?
No, unfortunately not.
What is the base effective disarming voice?
It's actually that it can't miss.
Oh, I see.
Which doesn't seem particularly relevant.
Oh, it does.
It
does damage. Okay, then I mean, yeah, no. Honestly, flinch sounds good. Let's keep the flinch going.
Yeah, it just Shallow starts to kind of like chant to itself a little bit in this very high pitched kind of singy voice, And
Have we heard Shiloh speak before now?
I think it's done disarming voice maybe once, maybe, but maybe not. This may be a first. It is learned from Ling Ling, and so it just starts to kind of sing chime in a way that's eerily reminiscent of Ling Ling as this like the sound waves focus in on the Porygon.
All right. So then it is going to try this again.
-2.
Okay. Yep.
So
All right. So yep. Still. Hey,
it's
Joel, I'm sorry. I did that. I added. That's right. That's. I need to redo that. Sorry. That's.
Oh, you did a +2.
I did a +2.
Well, I mean, it's still a 6, so it's just 4.
That's true. So that would be okay. Which still is a base success. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Cool.
Sorry, you all can't see, but we have
Yes, we have
actual
rolled
math
Roll20,
that we
yeah.
can do. So because we're doing Roll20, that's how the dice get to be on your screen and be all fancy.
Yeah.
So
And you see as it's sort of you see you kind of cocking its head as though it can hear something you can't. Uh and it sort of kind of hovers and seems to kind of be retracting a bit from your assault and sort of recovering itself. You can see some of the scuffing and glitching uh on its graphics repairing itself.
Hmm.
And then Estelle, it's your go.
So, question.
Mhm.
Can I use mimic to mimic Billy's attack and then use it on this thing, or does it only work against my opponent?
Actually, I have no idea how Mimic works in
Multi
battles.
Pokemon
I would
battles.
I would allow you to mimic disarming voice.
All right, cool. Then let's go ahead and roll. I'm going to, since Mimic is also a fairy type, so theoretically should be not have any problem using those. It's psychic fairy. I'm going to Estelle's gonna say, you know what? That seems like a good idea. Let's give it a try. And she's gonna get Mimic to go ahead and or Mr. Mime to go ahead and utilize Mimic, which is also boop, boop, boop. So that is going to be an 8.
Okay. You successfully mimic disarming voice.
Cool. So next round I can utilize that.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. I guess like, I kind of have to picture like Mr. Mime like weirdly sort of like suddenly it starts mirroring the weird sort of dance that Ralts is doing, uh mimicking it almost too well, like in that weird way that like people who are so in sync that like their movements are super fluid can be kind of unsettling to look at. And all right, I'm gonna roll off for initiative.
Let's do it. Oh God. Why does that hate me? Initiative hates me. Every other time I roll tactics, it's fine. But if initiative, no. It's fine. I'm an old
Right.
lady. I'm not meant to be fast.
Apparently, all I need to go relatively early in a battle is for Julian not to be involved.
Oop. She fell off. 6. Okay.
Okay, so at this point, if this Porygon charges up another one of these electrical grid attacks, uh, raining down a
There's an ice
shower.
on my head.
Oh no, a dice. A
There's a
dice is
dice on my
a
head.
dice covering a heather. Uh and it is lancing out to entrap both Shiloh and Mr. Mime in this electro web that causes them damage, but does not appear to cause them any additional effect. They both take one wound.
Okay. Somebody-
And then Billy.
Okay. Um, so the move Charm, in the description we have, user gazes at target rather charmingly, making it less wary, gives foes attacking move rolls a -2. I can't remember. Have we used that where it sticks? Like unlike flinch, where that's a one-turn thing, that one stays.
So charm is that's a full like stat reduction, right?
Yeah, it's not a damaging move. It just says it gives their attacking rolls a -2, and it does no
Right. So
damage.
lowers the attack stat of the target by 2 stages. So yep. So that would be a persistent -2. To let's see. It depends on let's see.
I need to
That
sit up.
is special. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. That would work for that. So you
Right.
can go ahead and do that. And if it's successful, will be a -2.
All right, then yeah. Shiloh
Okay.
is just going to try and look cute and wave at the Porygon to distract it. And that's a D6 and a D4 +2. Oh, happened again.
Nice. Nice.
Happened again.
Yeah.
So that is a 3, 7, 11, 14, 16.
Okay. All right. So, that crits definitely. So I guess with that, I would say if you wanted to, you could push that into -3 territory if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I would like.
Okay.
Shiloh's real cute,
Shiloh is pretty
but it's not being creepy.
cute. And then Estelle, it's your go.
Okay, so just to be sure, I am rolling my mimic as the thing it copied.
Yes.
My mimic stat. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I am going to go ahead and do that. And we got one of them exploding. So that is 17.
Okay. All right. Yep. That is a crit.
Technically
So,
a 19.
okay. So with the Inquisitive
It's
Shaman,
super
you can also.
effective.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't
Yeah,
think
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta
that's
that
add
true.
plus
spell.
2. Yeah.
19, so
It doesn't make a difference, no, but it's still a crit.
still nicer to know that it's 19.
Yes, indeed.
You always like to make that 20, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So I think I'm actually going to go for the extra damage in this
Okay.
case, because we've already got something pulling down that attack.
Mhm.
So we'll just trade off on that.
All right, cool. Do you want to describe how Mr. Mime looks doing this?
Mr. Mime starts, is doing that dance still and has kind of been holding it, and then all of a sudden starts like this little high-pitched song, and you've never actually heard Mr. Mime like make a sound, and you're not sure that it's coming from Mr. Mime's face. There is, though, the impression of a high voice with no mouth movements and the just creepy eyes as Mr. Mime continues to do the dance. And it's overall, it's not
Mhm.
it's not something you would go to a show and see,
Mhm.
and you might need to take a minute to wipe this from your brain later. But whatever that is, it sure is effective. Because that sound just again comes in as that wave and like crushes, and we're just hitting this thing a little hard. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no, and yeah, you can see the unnaturally smooth edges of the Porygon starting to kind of fuzz out a little
Yeah.
bit. Sorry, want to go ahead and roll off for initiative.
Anybody got a Pokeball? Can you even do that? I'm assuming there's
I
someone
think
else's
it has a.
Pokemon. So.
Yeah, I think it's been communicating with a
Ooh,
trainer somewhere.
nice. That's a 10. For once, I crit it.
Also, I thought Mr. Mime was about as creepy as it could get, and then you introduced Mr. Ventriloquist, which is actually worse.
Like, that's why I was like, doesn't make sense for Mr. Mime to actually talk because it's Mr. Mime. But there is definitely a voice coming from somewhere and you have no idea. Yay!
Billy, do you mind rolling one more time for initiative?
Oh, yeah, did it not go through?
Oh, no, it did, but we got the same, so I was rolling off
Oh,
again.
gotcha.
Yeah, you guys tied.
Okay. Check to go second. I'll take that.
All right. Well, Estelle, you are first.
So it still appears like a dark Pokemon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I cannot utilize Mimic again with that ability.
Oh, no, you can.
Oh, I can?
Yep.
How many rounds do I hold it?
How long does Mimic last for? It's more than one, though.
For use during that battle only. Rest
Okay,
of the
yeah.
battle.
Okay, cool.
Rest of the battle, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Then let's this creepy mimicky ventriloquist dance just keeps going. And it is a very effective creepy dance +2, so that's 14.
Okay. And what are you gonna do with the crit?
How is this thing looking?
It is definitely starting to discorporate a little bit.
Then I think I'm gonna go with double damage again.
Okay. And it is at that point with this disarming onslaught from Mr. Mime that you see the lines of the Porygon fully begin to pixelate and distort. Uh, and it vanishes into thin air.
Does it leave behind any devices that it was utilizing to like stay in contact?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Is the strange feeling we were feeling earlier completely gone?
It is, yes.
Weird. Professor, are you all right? Did I freeze?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I, I, I think so. I, I, I didn't. I didn't think it would come to this. I, I didn't think that Silph would be desperate enough to attack a Pokemon League facility.
Oh, I thought they might. But there's only a few things we can do now, and it all depends on whether or not they're. Well, it depends on a couple of things, but why don't you get up off the floor? And she like tries to help him up, and Billy, you're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine, but I don't know who was responsible for that. And I'd like to try and see if I can feel. I know the general feeling we had, but I want Billy to like search out to see if he can like pick up on any like hostile intent in the area of like maybe the person who might have been commanding this thing.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
4.
You can still sort of set you can kind of latch on to that vanishing feeling that you had when the Porygon was around, that acrid taste and that tingle in your skin. And you can almost kind of follow it like a beacon outside, uh, and walking a couple of blocks away from the gym, you see an unmarked van uh, pulling out of an alley and not quite speeding away, as that would arouse suspicion, but it is driving away at a pretty steady clip.
Can Shiloh use teleport to put Billy in the van, which she has a beat on?
You can certainly give it a shot.
Oh god.
Do I help him with that, or is it a flat roll for his ability?
I would.
Maybe with my aura, because we're working together?
Sure, let's do that. That sounds good.
2d6. That's a 5.
Okay. That will just do it. Since you have line of sight on the van, you can have Shiloh teleport you inside the van if you want.
Yeah, I think that's what Billy's gonna do. Like he doesn't think, he just senses it, realizes it's getting away, and is like, grabs Shiloh, and they teleport into the van.
Okay.
Billy.
You drop into the back of the van, and there are a pair of men in the driver and passenger seat respectively, arguing. I thought that you said you had this under control. I did. Don't I this it would have been fine. They should never have seen it coming. I don't there there it's a psychic type Jim. I don't I don't understand how you couldn't have factored precognition into your calculation. How am I supposed to factor precognition into my calculations? That's a contradiction in terms, Randy. Well, I still think you should have factored for it. I mean, again, psychic types, like, you can't necessarily rely on stealth, Jim. And even then, I thought you said the Porygon Z could handle it. My Porygon, there is no problem with my Porygon. My Porygon is thoroughly optimized. There is no problem at all with my Porygon Z. It's just that I wasn't expecting the old lady to be packing heat. That's did you not
didn't read the profile.
did you not read the dossier, Jim? Did you not this is your problem. You don't, if it's not it, and this argument continues in this vein. What do you want to do, Billy?
I think pretty soon after that, actually, you just hear the voice from the back of the car. Well, it's really less precognition and more of a general, like, harm aura sense type of thing.
The van nearly skids off of the road. Arceus, what is? Oh, shit! It's the kid. Oh, well, technically speaking, he's not a kid, Randy. He's the gym leader. Oh shit! He's the gym leader. What are we?
I called the police. The Jennies.
What are you doing here? What are you?
Well, so there's this whole process. Like, usually when you challenge the gym, you have to, like, fill out your name and information before the battle. So, like, we did a battle, so we kind of need you to come back and, like, put down your information so that we can log it for the gym records. There's also a fee, but, like, I understand if you don't have the money on you, but, like, we do at least need to log it.
Jim, I'm driving, Jim. I need you to handle this, Jim. And Jim just sort of looks at the other guy, Randy. Apparently, it's like, what do you want me to do, Randy, kick him out the back of the truck. It would be a start. And Jim awkwardly gets out of the passenger seat and heads towards the back of the van. It's like, nothing personal, kid. It's just business. And he will attempt to physically throw Billy out of the back of the moving van.
Okay. Are we doing athletics?
Yeah, let's do it.
Or fitness, that's what it is.
Fitness, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy's got good fitness, so.
Yeah, and I rolled a crap 3. I would like to burn a luck point. Billy
Sure.
actually is buff.
Here, go
Yeah.
for it.
What's bugging me?
Burn it.
Oh my god.
Get a Shiloh. I don't care. I will donate money right now.
Okay, do I have one more? Can I try and roll better than a 3?
Yes.
Come on. Oh my god. How? How is that possible?
I'll tell you what. Let's see. This guy does not have fantastic athletics, so let's see how well he does.
Fair enough.
You also have Shiloh with you. Just ring his bell.
Also,
Dang.
looks like someone
Woo.
in the chat. Looks like someone in the chat gave guidance.
Oh, guidance for
Oh.
2000. Yeah. Like it. Thank you, chat.
So for guidance, or what we're doing? How are we doing guidance for this?
Never figured it out for this system.
Oh, okay. Let's call it
it's a
a
D4 in D&D.
Sure. Let's add a D4. Let's do that.
Do it.
It's
for
the way
Vin,
we
right,
did it.
chat? Yeah, okay. For
The way
Marshall.
we did it. The way we did it for PBTA was just a +1. But
Ooh, that's an exploding
This is cool.
4.
That's 2 exploding 4s.
Oh.
The rolling the same damn paid off me that
Jeez.
time. That's an additional 10.
So okay, so what I'm getting from this entire saga is that there is just like a lot of tumbling around going on in the back of the van, just like, and you hear Randy calling from the front, just Jim, just throw him out. Why, Jim? Is this so? I'm going to.
I like to think
And-
this is Billy being
And
like,
yeah, no,
very
Randy,
gentle.
you hear. Yeah, because they get like Jim is trying very hard to throw you out of the van, and Billy is very politely not being thrown out of the van. And you hear a screeching of tires as Randy pulls in onto some kind of sidewalk somewhere and puts the van into park and gets in, and both of them are going to try and overpower you and throw you out of the van.
I think at this point, like, Shiloh might get spooked, and you psychic to just, like, try and
Sure.
lift them up. That's a D10.
We have to bring
6.
down our thing too. We need to bring it down by 2. So we have 1 left. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6 from Shiloh.
We are also out of the battle at this point.
6. Nice.
Okay, so that's for lifting them into the air.
Yes, just like as one
For
was
Shiloh?
fine,
Okay.
but yeah, I think Shiloh panics on the 2 and starts to like lift them up. I also think I'm like super delayed.
Okay, well, I think with
Shall we say?
a little bit, but not terrible.
Yeah, you're having a little bit of lag, but it's not terrible.
Let's say so with 6, Shiloh gets spooked by Randy coming back, and so Randy is suddenly like gravity reverses for Randy, and Randy is pinned against the roof of the roof of the van. Though you were still struggling with Jim.
Mhm.
So go ahead and roll athletics for him.
It's 1v1. Yeah.
There we go.
Woo. Yeah.
At this point, the guy is just like bracing himself against Billy and is like, trying to like dig his feet in and like just like physically like push him. He has the door open and he's trying to push you out, but Billy's not even bracing himself. He's just kind of standing there.
It's wiry. It's that compact muscle. That's how it works.
I'm, I mean, at this point, I guess if you wanted to provide the information, I could just take it down from here and bring it back to the gym. Do either of you carry your IDs on you? I mean, you must have. You're driving a vehicle, so I would assume.
It is around this time that you can actually start to hear distant sirens approaching. One of the Jenny mobiles coming towards your position. At this point, Jim just hears that and is like, "Oh, no, Randy, I'm not going to jail for this." And Jim leaps past Billy and just starts booking it away from the van. Randy, however, is still pinned to the ceiling of the van.
Billy lifts a hand and she's like, I mean, I think it's a fine at best.
Is Estelle caught up at this point?
I want to talk to my lawyer. And yeah, it's at that point that the Jenny mobile comes up with two of the Jennies and Estelle in the back seat. Estelle and Mr. Mime both in the back seat. Mr. Mime now inexplicably in a policeman's uniform.
Did we see the other guy like running off?
You didn't see him. It looks like he ducked into an alley.
Okay, all right. Billy, are you all right? Oh, I see. She just looks up inside the van where the guy's on the top of the. Well, that's a relief. You caught him. Was this the gentleman who attacked the gym?
No, I think this one's Randy. Jim was the other one.
Oh, there was another one. Oh, Haunter, can you go look? And she'll just like, and she starts talking to one of the Jennies, I assume, while the other one cuffs Randy about what occurred and the attack on the gym and the damage to the gym and the property damage and like all these things and like and you know.
Yeah, and the Jennies are rather displeased to hear about this whole situation. They go and they ask Billy nicely, "Do you mind? Can we peel him off the roof of the?"
Oh
van?
yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Shiloh, you can let him down. And Shiloh just turns off.
drops straight onto the bottom of the van.
Why did they pull over, Billy? They were getting away.
Oh, well, I think they got surprised when I started talking after I appeared in the van. I think that kind of threw them off, and then they tried to kick me out of the van. I think that's what they were doing. It didn't work too well, and then Shiloh got a little spooked.
They They tried to throw you out of the moving van.
It had stopped at that point after they pulled over.
So they tried to throw you out of the van once it was stopped, but not while it was moving?
Yeah.
Because if they tried to throw you out while it was moving, Billy, that's attempted murder.
I think it was stopped.
They
through the back.
They stopped eventually, but they did when Jim was first trying to throw you out of the van, it was still moving.
Oh.
And the conversation did go something to the effect of, "What, do you want me to try to kick him out of the moving van?" And Randy said, "It would be a start."
Fair enough then. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess initially it was moving, and then it stopped moving when the other one came around to help him. So yeah.
And you heard them talking about attacking the gym So,
Mhm.
all
That's why I
right.
was trying to get their information for the gym log, for the battle.
No, that wasn't a gym battle, dear. That was them attacking the gym. And us. And Professor Maple specifically. I don't know if you remember, but the first attack was just at Professor Maple, and he is not a member of our gym.
No, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. It was just, I don't know what counts. Like, it was still a battle in the gym, so I figured we should still have their information. Like, it obviously it wasn't quite the standard, and they didn't seem to have nice intent, but it was still a battle inside the gym.
Hmm.
And like,
Well,
I don't know the legal responsibilities and the liability of that. There's a lot of paperwork, Estelle.
let's get your statement with the Jenny, and we'll figure it all out. I'll call the insurance company in the morning. Did Hunter find anything? Do I need to do anything for that?
Haunter eventually comes back phasing through several of the buildings nearby, and comes back to you and just kind of shrugs with his claws.
Oh. Well, what about this van? Who's this registered to? I turn and look at the Jenny.
We're gonna have to run the plates back at the station.
You'll let us know.
Well, assuming it's not, well, I'll let you
Jennifer,
know.
you'll let us know. I'm gonna use connections. Which I believe is a heart roll.
Yeah, go for a heart roll.
Oh, nope.
I
Can't really tell you about an ongoing investigation.
Mrs. Esper, I really wish we could, but it's part of an ongoing investigation.
Jenny, he
That's
tried to murder Billy.
That said, what my mom overhears over at the bar down at Jenny's, and repeats to you over tea, I can't control. We've talked to her about it, multiple times, but
You're a good girl, Jennifer. She gives her a cookie.
you know how she is.
Like, I give her a tin of cookies that have just appeared. Like, you're a good girl. Now go get those evildoers.
Thank you, Mrs. Esper. I'm glad you're okay. And Mr. Baker, doing all right?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Jennifer,
Have you been checked out?
I mean, they didn't really. I'm fine. They didn't really do much. I'm okay.
Oh well, all right. I am assuming that you're going to be wanting to press charges.
Looks to Estelle. Sees Estelle nodding. I suppose so. I mean, I primarily want their names if possible. Again, for the gym log, but like also the charges would be good as well.
All right. Well. This one's name is Randy. No last name yet. He's refusing to talk until he gets a lawyer. In his rights. We'll have to see what we find out then.
Okay. If you could just let us know so we can update it.
Oh, Jennifer, you might find a polygon on one or both of them. You should definitely take that into evidence. I'll see if I can find anything on the tapes from before the polygon hit its first attack on our electrical grid.
We'd appreciate that, Mrs. Esper. Is deceased. Yeah. Too much alliteration in this game.
She's used to it, honestly. Like, she's an Esper, and like it's been her entire. She got married, and she's been correcting people.
Well,
that it's
and
East,
so
like,
but then some of your sisters,
years.
some of your sisters who look freakishly like you, never married, so they're
still
Miss Espers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Well,
But
I don't.
you would think that the Jennies of all people would be better about that.
You would think. I mean, like, it's the NPC face problem we both got. Why can you not? But yeah, so I guess we give our statements and then we're gonna go back to the gym.
And I think,
And
yeah, it's around that time probably that you get back to the gym and Julian is just standing in the middle of this wreckage, just like turns around and I presume says something to the effect of, "I leave you alone for an hour."
everything's fine. It was Silpco. Come inside, everyone. We'll get inside and we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to figure out.
All right. Are you all right, Julian? How'd everything go with your sister? And, like, we go through the door inside.
I think Julian says as we go inside, and we can maybe end on this, but Julian, as you go inside, you ask that, Julian says, "Ask me again in 6 hours."
Stell kind of looks over like she knows something's not okay. She's trying to get everybody inside.
Because by then I'll know if I have a sister or not.
Well, all right then. Cool. Yeah, no,
Emotional damage.
Seems like
Emotional damage.
as good of a note to end on as any. Yes, indeed. Well, then, thank you so much to everybody for joining us this evening. If you watched, if you donated, if you chatted, followed, subscribed, whatever, we want you to know that it means the world to us. Even all of your shit posts in chat. Everything that we everything that we do in this channel benefits a really great cause, and we would not be able to make any of that happen without you. So thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow with more of that sweet Pokemon goodness. Marshall running the Maple League.
Syrupy sweet.
Syrupy sweetness.
Oh, Canada.
We get a maple festival not far from my hometown when I was growing up. I would always make myself sick eating maple-flavored candy. I miss those days. I want some of that maple candy right now. I would eat myself sick on that this instant.
Did you ever make the maple snow candy?
It was basically that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would eat so much of that. Anyway, we will also be back this coming Veilbreakers happening this Sunday. Yes.
Should be.
Veilbreakers.
Yes.
Yep, Veilbreakers happening this Sunday on the stream. That a week from today, Will is going to be back with Class Reunion. And then you can also follow our schedule if you would like to know when we are going live. You can follow us on Twitter at Live from the APOC. Should be up there on the screen, the Cursebird app. Or you can join our Discord community, which is full of a lot of awesome and friendly people and is generally just a great place. We do community nights in there as well, where we play some games together off stream or watch bad movies. And it's really just kind of a nice group of people overall. If you would like to get to know us better, we would love to have all of you. And I think that is enough talking from me. There will not be any missing numbers in 2 weeks because I will be out of town. But there should be the next rotation after that, and it seems like that we will have some things to do.
We're gonna start on emotional damage this time, and then end on battles. It'll be fine.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And so I think we're going to be disappearing in just a second, but don't go away because we are going to be raiding one of the many other great TTRPG creators here on Twitch. So please be friendly, say hi, and tell them that Live from the Apocalypse sent you.
Yes, indeed. We are going to hop over to Tales from the Table Studios, where, speaking of Class Reunion, our castmate JD is currently finishing up a one-shot, also for charity, over there. So we'll hop in, we'll say hi. There are 2 raid messages in the chat. If you are subscribed to us, you can copy paste the first one. If you are not, you can copy paste the second one because that's the global emote. But yes, we will disappear and then don't go anywhere. We will hop right over to Tales from the Table and yeah, we'll call it a night. Say hi, be nice. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.